Hello everyone, I'm Srivalli from Ph.D. 1. So we have Dr. G with us, our Mohan Gopalakrishnan sir from ASU, Arizona State University. Hello sir.
Hello.
So going ahead with interview, so this is the third consecutive year to be here. So how do you feel, sir?
I feel quite happy coming here. This is a good group of students, and what MYRA is doing is building a community of students that are going to settle down in various careers. So it's important to be part of the early years of building. That's why I like coming back.
So coming to the interview part, sir, SCM as a course or the major part of every industry. So how the analytics in the blooming part now in the world, it's going to impact SCM performance. What do you think? What is your view?
Like many areas, the data is becoming available now. And like many areas, because of the digital revolution, lots of data is becoming available. So the challenge is, how do you take the right kind of data for the area in which you're trying to apply it? So SCM is no different when compared to financial data or marketing data. The interesting thing about SCM is it can dip into other data sets. It can go into a customer data set, it can go to a financial data set in order to analyze some of the strategies and how to build more efficiencies. So that's what makes it interesting and challenging. So I feel like the next set of years would be customizing some of these data analytics towards various kinds of problems in supply chain. So by customizing, what I mean is we do have forecasting models that's been there for a long time, but how do you make it such that demand planning becomes much more efficient? That has not happened the way we expected it to. With the new analytics, I think that would be a good area to be with.
Coming to e-commerce, the big world, so how much important the SCM in e-commerce field? What is your opinion on that? How important is it?
E-commerce has matured in many countries, is growing like crazy in other countries. People have mobile devices now, so everybody is quite savvy to how to place an order. No longer the technology is kind of something that they are afraid of. With that in mind, from a supply chain standpoint, it is how effectively you fulfill those orders, which means one of many things. One is effectively locating which is the best part in the supply chain to fulfill that order. That could even be a store, or it could be a warehouse, or it could be even a supplier plant. So developing these capabilities of order fulfillment in places where you normally would not see. Example, a plant. Plant is used to manufacturing and sending things to somewhere else and not worry about packaging and things like that. Now suddenly there may be a need to order fulfill right from the plant itself, because that might be the most cost-effective way to do it, so on and so forth. So that is going to be the challenge in the SCM. The technology side and even searching and locating products are all developed very well. It is how the physical side of order fulfillment through the inventory visibility at various locations in the supply chain, that's going to be an interesting challenge. It's already started and people are doing innovative models for doing that.
Coming to big data and 3D printing, so how are they going to impact SCM in future, operations in SCM?
I want to separate those two. I want to first take 3D printing as an issue. So we are already seeing the impact in terms of decentralizing production, right? So volume was a big deal, so we centralized production, and then that led to all kind of network models on how we produce and distribute. Now we are completely breaking it up and taking it closer to the customer, waiting till the demand happens, doing in very small numbers. So all these things are going to completely disrupt the traditional supply chains, and it has started to in a small way, but it needs. The problem right now in 3D printing is the costs are still pretty high. The materials and the technology are highly proprietary. So like sourcing is an issue. When you buy the technology, the material has to be sourced from the person who's controlling the technology, so the material costs are not at market prices. So once those kind of anomalies have sorted out themselves by increased volume, then you would see it becoming mainstream in many places. The other one is long-term reliability of these products, because these are all pretty new. So that is another area that is slowly burgeoning, and data is coming from there. So 3D printing will make inroads. Probably in another 5 to 10 years, you would see them in warehouses, you would see them in doctor's office. So it is going to create interesting business models. People who are going to buy 3D printers and start becoming consulting type of people. It may also make empower people in countries where it has not been, because manufacturing investment is pretty large. So people would not traditionally think of getting into manufacturing. Now with this technology, even at remote places, you could now start training people to use it. So its potential is being unleashed, and we'll have to wait and see where it takes us. So that's about 3D printing. The other question you asked is about data. So as I said in the beginning, I think data is coming, but good data is the one that is beginning. The challenge is to get the good data, quality, reliable data, and also data that is usable for different kinds of decisions. So that is where the challenge is right now, and most of the data analytics tools is in the data description stage, taking the data and describing it well so that it can be used for further in terms of predictive or prescriptive kind of analysis.
SEM and Ops being my interest field, and it's a major interest field for most of our students. So would you suggest any certifications and opportunities that you look in India?
Definitely. I think the CSCMP, which is one of the mainstream US-based think tanks, has opened an office in Mumbai, and they are going out in a big way with simple certification. I think today you could look at, because of the electronic availability of opportunities, you should think the certification can come from any part of the world as long as the student qualifies and is ready to pay the fees. So there's lots of options available that one should check out. It's a good way if this particular school is not providing at this stage enough courses to make a minor or a major in that area. So that's what I would say. APIX is another area to think about, American Production and Inventory Control Societies. All these societies that are being kind of the flagship for bringing the field up have opened up global offices, and they're doing well. So something to check out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.